Welcome to Singapore Property Talk Live. Today we're jumping straight into the east, specifically Pasir Ris. There's a really intense wave of housing development happening there.
Yeah, it's quite something. And you have to understand the context, right? Pasir Ris is big, area-wise, about 601 hectares.
Right.
But the actual number of public flats, it's around 29,000, relatively low for its size.
Okay.
So you've got this huge demand, especially from second-gen residents wanting to stay near family, but limited supply. That's driving this big push for more housing, more upgrades.
Which brings us to the core question, really. Pasir Ris has this reputation, doesn't it? Kind of rustic, resort-like.
The chill vibes.
Exactly. So how does that Pasir Ris transform into, well, a denser urban area? And what gets lost or gained when you maximize the number of homes? That's what we're diving into.
Let's start right at the heart of it, the town center.
Okay, around the MRT station. That seems to be ground zero for the changes.
Absolutely. Think about the old Pasir Ris bus interchange site. Served the area since, what, 1989?
Yeah, a long time.
Well, demolition is slated for late 2025.
And that opens up quite a bit of space.
A prime spot, 2.9 hectares. That's like 4 football fields right next to the MRT. It's zoned for housing with commercial space on the ground floor.
So potential for.
Our estimates, somewhere between maybe 580 and 650 condo units, plus a significant amount of retail, 18,000 to 23,000 square meters.
Now, I heard something interesting about height limits there because of changing airport being nearby.
Ah, yes. That's a crucial detail. Historically, yeah, buildings are capped at around 45 meters because the runways aren't far off.
Right.
But the rules changed recently. The Civil Aviation Authority revised the limits. Now, developers might be able to go up to 60 meters.
Wow. Okay, that's a 15-meter difference.
It's huge, not just for the number of units, but, economically. Higher floors often mean premium prices. It visually and financially pushes Pasir Ris towards being more of an urban hub.
And this density is happening alongside better connectivity. The bus interchange already moved, right?
Yeah.
Into that new integrated transport hub.
Correct. That IFE already houses Pasir Ris Mall, the Polyclinic, and the Pasir Ris 8 condo. It's all becoming much more integrated.
And there are plans for a new community hub, too, near the Hawker Center and the revamped Sports Center.
That's right, though it's still under study. But it all ties into the transport strategy. Pasir Ris MRT is going to be a major interchange on the future cross-island line, the CRL.
The CRL, that's the big one.
It really is. Once that's up, Pasir Ris residents get direct lines not just east, but straight to the central area, out west to Jurong Lake District, Clementi, and also northeast Ang Mo Kio, Hugang.
That completely changes the accessibility profile of the town. You can see why they're pushing for density there.
Makes sense from a planning perspective, maximizing the land around major transport nodes.
Okay, before we dig into the new housing areas, just a quick reminder. If you're getting value from this deep dive, do hit that like button and subscribe. It helps us keep bringing you these analyses.
Definitely helps. So moving on, the demand for housing here is, well, pretty obvious.
You mean like the recent BTOs, Costa Riviera?
Yeah, those were super popular in the October 2024 exercise. But maybe the clearest sign of pent-up demand is the executive condominium, the EC market.
The Sungei Loyang Bisar EC plot.
Exactly. First EC launch in Pasir Ris in over 10 years. The last one was Sea Horizon back in 2013.
So a lot of waiting.
A lot. And it showed in the bidding. 4 bids, and the winner, Kingjian Realty and Partners, paid a record $729 per square foot per plot ratio.
729 PSF PPR for an EC. That sounds high. For our listeners, maybe put that into perspective.
It's very high for an EC plot, which usually goes for less than private condo land. It shows massive developer confidence. They believe buyers will pay a premium.
Why? Location, amenity.
Partly, yeah. It's near downtown East, Pasir Ris Park, White Sands. But crucially, it's also about the future Changi East employment hub. Developers are betting on Pasir Ris becoming a key residential zone for workers there. It's a strategic bet on the East's growth.
Interesting. So beyond ECs, the Draft Masterplan 2025 signals even more, right? Like whole new areas.
Oh, yes. Big greenfield sites are being eyed. Take the area near Sungei Loyang. That's 18 hectares currently vegetated.
18 hectares. That's huge.
It is. Marked for homes, commercial, community facilities. Could mean roughly 4,400 private units or maybe 3,000 HDB flats. Massive scale.
Is there concern about the greenery loss there?
There is. URA is doing an environmental study, trying to integrate biodiversity, but it shows the push to find land, even if it's currently green.
And that's not the only spot.
Nope. There's another 2.3 hectare forested plot along Sungei Loyang Bisar, likely for about 350, 400 private condos. Might even get sea views given the lower plot ratio there.
And then there are the plots linked to the new MRT stations.
Right, near the future Elias MRT station on the CRL extension that's planned for 2032. Two big plots there, 15 hectares and 3.8 hectares.
15 hectares. Again, massive potential.
Easily. The larger plot alone could potentially hold 3,700 private homes or maybe 2,500 HDB flats. Thousands of new homes tied directly to that new transport link.
Okay, so the pipeline is enormous, which leads us straight into this tension. The Pasir Ris paradox, and some call it.
The double-edged sword, yeah. You get the homes people need, but you risk losing what made Pasir Ris special, the nature, the quiet.
That seems to be the core conflict, the identity versus the density.
And people are worried about specifics, like the BTO project near Pasir Ris Park on the old car park B site. Nature groups have raised red flags.
About what exactly?
Specific wildlife. There are concerns about noise and light affecting rare species like Sunda owls and blue-eared kingfishers near Kingfisher Pond and the mangrove area.
So not just general greenery, but specific vulnerable habitats.
Precisely, and you hear it from longtime residents, too. The feeling that Pasir Ris is losing its unique, chill resort vibe, becoming, another Tampoons.
Standardized, maybe. Losing that Ulu-ness, as some might say.
That Ulu-ness is hard to put a value on, isn't it? But there's another impact people are quantifying related to the environment.
You mean the heat?
Yeah. There are reports suggesting Pasir Ris HDB flats have consistently used the most electricity among public housing estates since at least 2018.
Seriously, why?
Well, some link it to rising local temperatures, possibly due to clearing secondary forests like the ones near where Elias MRT is going, or near Drive 3.
Ah, the urban heat island effect kicking in locally.
Seems plausible. You remove trees, you lose that natural cooling effect from evapotranspiration, replace it with concrete, buildings. They trap heat.
So the neighborhood gets hotter.
And residents likely use more aircon to cope, hence higher electricity bills. It's a feedback loop. Solving housing potentially adds to local energy demand.
Okay, so with these environmental impacts, wildlife, heat, how is the planning side responding? HDB says the BTO near the park is sensitively designed.
That's the official line, yes.
Wow.
Based on environmental studies, feedback from nature groups. Their main mitigation is a wooded buffer zone up to 50 meters wide between the construction and the park.
50 meters, is that enough? To protect those rare owls from construction noise and light?
That's the million-dollar question. HDB also says Kingfisher Pond and the mangroves will stay open during construction. But, 50 meters might reduce the visual impact, but noise, vibrations from piling, they travel. Especially tough for light-sensitive nocturnal animals. It's definitely a compromise.
A compromise, not a complete solution. Okay, so wrapping this up, what's the big picture for Pasir Ris and for anyone living there or thinking of moving there?
Well, Pasir Ris is clearly shifting gears, moving from that low-density sort of resort town feel towards being a much denser, highly connected regional hub. It fits the national strategy decentralization, supporting employment nodes like Changi East.
And meeting those big national population projections, 6.5 to 6.9 million people by 2030, needing possibly 700,000 new homes across Singapore.
Exactly. Pasir Ris is a case study in that national balancing act, hitting population targets, providing homes, versus preserving local character and green spaces.
So the final thought for our listeners.
It's this. Even with really quite sophisticated planning, the ITH, the higher density near transport, the buffer zone's residents are still feeling that intangible loss, that change in character. So as we intensify more and more of Singapore, the provocative question is, what else can we do? Beyond just physical buffers or integrated transport, are there other planning ideas, maybe like rethinking how density is arranged, like using perimeter blocks to shield larger green cores inside developments that could help future towns keep that sense of local identity, that Ulu-ness even as they grow? That feels like the next challenge.